Okay, this is going to be a fuel filter change for a 2006 Dodge Cummins. This is the common rail. I believe this is going to be the same for the model years between 2003 up through about 2007 and a half. What you're going to need to do this is you're going to need 1 1/8" socket, fuel filter, a new O-ring. The fuel filter is model number, that's a Fleet Guard, 19856. It's a 7 micron. And I also use a little bit of seafoam at the end of my service. You want to start off by draining your filter housing by turning the little yellow tab on the side of the canister, which is on the forward side of the canister. That'll let the fuel run out the bottom. And then I loosen the cap up. I've already pre-loosened it. It allows air into the filter housing to let the fuel run out a little faster. We'll let that drain out, and I will see you back here in a minute. Okay, we're back. The fuel has run out of the housing. We're going to pull our filter and the lid out together. They're attached together. You want to take your time because there's a little bit of suction as you pull that out. And if you just pull it out real quick, you're going to pull out a whole wash of fuel with it, and it's going to get everywhere and make a mess. Excuse me. And then I flip mine over upside down just to try to keep the mess to a minimum. You pull it out, and there it is. Now there's little tabs here. I don't know if you can see those. They go all the way around. They hold the filter against your housing. You kind of have to work that out there. Get that out of the way. You're going to take your new filter with the flat side down. Set it back into your tabs. Splash fuel everywhere, make a mess. And you want to make sure that you remove the old O-ring and replace it with the new one that comes with the new filter. Toss that out of the way. And work this around the edges here. There we go. And I set that aside for a second. Now what I do is I like to add a little bit of seafoam into the filter housing. And I've read pros and cons to this, and you'll find probably as many people on one side of the fence as you will on the opposing side that this is good and this is bad. You want to make sure you close the drain. Knock over your camera while you're at it. And this isn't a full bottle, so I'll just dump what I have left in here. But if this was full, I would only fill the filter bowl about 2/3 of the way full, maybe 3/4 full. I don't fill it all the way because I like to mix it with fresh fuel when I reprime the engine. I take the new filter, work it in here underneath, set it there so it doesn't fall off, and then we'll get it started. And you want to push that down on the stem inside the filter bowl, work it down. And it's very important that you don't cross thread your cap because it's plastic. It won't take much to cross thread it. Just start working that closed. And you'll hear some people say that it's bad to use a wrench to tighten this down, but just make sure you're only snugging it. You don't need to really crank it down tight like you would a oil filter. It's not that critical. Just want to make sure the O-ring is seated properly. And that's it. I'll wipe up my fuel and then we'll start the priming procedure. Okay, we're back. Now what we're going to do is reprime our engine, and there's a sequence to turn the key on to start the fuel pump, and you'll hear the pump kick on when you turn the key on to the not quite to the start position, but the on position. And you'll hold it for a few seconds, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off, turn it on. You're going to do that 5 or 6 times, and that's repriming your filter bowl. And then either the 6th or 7th time, you should be able to start the truck. Almost. Alrighty. We'll let it run for a minute to allow the seafoam to do its magic. Hope everything looks good. Doesn't look like we've got any leaks. Okay. That was the fuel filter change for the 2003 model year Dodge Cummins up through 2007.5, 5.9 Common Rail Cummins. If you have any questions, feel free to message me in the comments below. You can also check out my new website, Winders Ranger, or my Amazon store, Winders Mart, where I'm going to start including some of the filters and things that I use for my vehicle. Again, this was the Fleet Guard 7 micron filter. Some folks I've read on the internet are starting to try to find the 2 micron. I haven't been able to find one myself, and these were some of the old 7 microns that I had left over. Originally, Dodge suggested using the 10 micron filter, which I don't recommend. You want to try to at least stay to the 7 micron or less. If you can get a 2 micron, that'd be great. A lot of the aftermarket filters for FAS, the FAS aftermarket fuel pump filter setup, I think they offer the 2 micron filters as well. But again, if you have any questions, feel free to message me. And if you like this video, hit the like button. Thank you.